Okay, we seem to be fine, even though my YouTube was once again like, oh, you're orange, which means you bad. But yeah, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy. We're actually progressing the main story a bit. I really want to get into Heavensward. That's the wrong way, isn't it? Wait, where is it? No? Maybe? Ah, okay. It is not the wrong way. Thank goodness! Would feel so silly if I went the completely wrong way. I made a small video today. I normally do not make videos at the same time as I do streams, but I did a whoopsie and I misplaced my UPS shipping label, and now I have to like contact people. Can they give me yet another one? And I feel really stupid about that. So my day plans were kind of ruined. And I got into a big argument, and obviously I upset myself with it. So I thought I'll make a YouTube video about that. Okay, now it's actually showing that my stream's healthy. Let me just make sure that it's like healthy in multiple places. Yeah. It is. It is healthy in multiple places. Good on us. Do not attack me. That is not part of the plan. Okay, thank you. Thank you for going away. I'm here to respect the front. Very poor. Dead front. Aw, we're all here respecting a dead friend.
Forgive me, Moenbryda. Had I been quicker, or wiser...
Or more useful.
But I was not. And you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it.
We probably should be doing that, considering the circumstance.
I shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Good.
Life for death, a fair exchange.
Midgard Zormir approves.
Other bargains will be struck.
Nice to know that it's like a 1-1 ratio, so maybe we can do this more often, eh? And at least that point has a teleport point. Whoop whoop. The soft tune of rising stones does not go well with the sadness of some of the quests. Yeah. Though we had said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me, as antecedent, it's my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Don't you agree? You can cry under that desk for all I care, just do it in private. Yeah, that is the opposite of doing it in private. This is as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But this a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have yet fought have taken the lives of so many. Eorzea, Moenbryda, our fellows at the Waking Sands. They don't deserve to have names. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need to remind you of this, of course. It is for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Magnanimous. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. Surely your friends that you have been working with for like tens of years instead of like some stranger that just walked in and killed all the primals might be, you know, somebody better to rely on. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. I should not be chewing this. I am gonna put it away. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on towards the light of a new day. I'm amazed that this wasn't like the end of patch 404. Because that kind of line just seems to coincide with end of patch. Have you a moment, Magnanimous? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moenbryda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. I think that the dude that actually knew the girl really well, the guy that's still at... God damn it, he played such little importance that he's still at Waking Sands and I forgot his name. He gives prime or extreme quests, okay? I think he has more reason to be very upset right now. Because it was his best friend. Hey, it's Magnanimous! Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just so hard, you know? Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm streaming to myself right now, so yeah, that never feels too good. The thing is, I know Mon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you at the daisy at Rathfrost. Ah! Glorified delivery guy. That is my life. Whoop whoop. Can you pick a flower? Sure. Sure, I can pick a flower. Couldn't pick a flower. That would be a very silly person. That being said, Maybe literally anyone that's not me would be better at picking flowers. I mean, when was the last time you saw a soldier at a base and you're like, can you buy a cabbage? Probably would be like, yeah, I can buy a cabbage, but don't you have somebody more appropriate to ask this of? What can I do for you today? You got you running errands now? They happen for a very long time. Them Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it here you have to pick up? The moon daisy? Here, then, take it. And tell Ida, lass, I got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace the downy old mask of hers. God knows she needs to. Look, if she wants to wear a level 1 headgear, that is up to her. Some people like wearing level 1 shields. Spoilers. We got a flower to put on the gravestone. There are points in the story where I get very upset. Moenbryda's death wasn't one of them, because while she was around for a bit, she wasn't around that long. And everybody else had more of a connection to her than I did. I saw her for like 10 quests, briefly. Ravina can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say, I really appreciate you doing this for me, so anyway, let's see it. Here's your gravestone flower! Moenbryda loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her. Maybe she's now in a soul of a baby, loving daisies once again.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
That sounds really cryptic and ominous at the exact same time. Yeah, I think my character just paid attention to it. Like the song? Crescendo. Ah! The roar of the dragons. Those ones are tiny, teeny ones, but doesn't bode well now, does it?
Is that what I think it is?
A flock of dragons, yes it is.
Hello, can you hear me?
Have you also witnessed the flock of dragons? For I have.
Brave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Okay, so here's to a task more fitting of me than flower collection. Honestly, I did all of the Stormblood main story quests, like, during the patch cycle, so it wasn't as annoying for me, but my husband insists on saying that Stormblood patch cycles feel worse than Realm Reborn patch cycles because he's doing them in a group. So there might be a place in this game that I hate a lot more than all of this tedious walking from person to person. Yeah! Yeah, sure! You just go and like pick flower cookies. Though honestly, it's way too common for expansions to go, oh, you're reduced to a level of a small peasant again, so go and pick me 10 rocks. But this game just goes, we're gonna combine real epic actions with rock picking. So you'll do a bit of both. And then other characters will be like, you should really learn to say no for tasks that are you know, beneath you. And then you go, yeah, I probably should. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn Moenbryda's passing. Her loss will be surely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little to him to mourn. The envoy from Coerthas will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear their report. Oh. That sounds really odd. It's not even collecting collecting flowers, it's taking pictures of flowers. I never played Warframe. One of my people really liked Warframe, but I just never got around to it. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forgo the usual pleasantries if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Dravanians? Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and the battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Emmerich himself sailed forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand the second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. Is it reinforcements you seek, then? Well, I'm kinda not new to losing all my spare time. I mean, I lost 4.5k hours to Final Fantasy, and I have tried Elder Scrolls Online as well a little bit. Like, I have a character that has roughly done half the zones, and I'm like, that is also very intriguing. I've spent like good 3,000 hours on Guild Wars 2 at one point. And World of Warcraft. I am kinda bad at time management with MMOs, I think. You wanna play all of them at the same time, but then you can't, and that's frustrating. We do, though it pricks our pride. It is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Emmerich would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Coerthas at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence to saving the whole nation from dragons. Okay. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with the 3 grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? I had a few MMOs that I couldn't get into that much. MapleStory 2 ruined it for me with their endgame. Destiny 2 felt too short in their storyline, and after I was finished with it, I was like, okay, what now? So I got confused. I don't think I can come back to World of Warcraft, because it feels too old for me by then. And Guild Wars 2 ruined it for me with Heart of Thorns and that expansion storyline. But I like a lot of other things. Yeah. The issue is trying to play an MMO actively and at the same time have some playtime in other games. So you end up with just playing one game a lot, which isn't very good, especially when you get burned out from it. I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf. I dare not promise a favorable reply. Well, you kinda told us that you're not gonna join our fight, so I don't think that they're gonna join yours. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance, we must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see, very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that they speak with Sir Emberic's authority in this matter and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Well, I took like a huge break from Final Fantasy throughout most of the Stormblood, and I played a lot of other things, and whenever my husband's home, I try and make a point to play something else with him if he wants me to. So that way I can still like keep a game variety going. But I think I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a job again. Which I should get. And I'm also trying to catch up my main character in here, because now I'm involved with the guild and with like the whole community, and we actually do have a nice little community going in our little guild. So I'm trying to actually be there and be helpful and do my other classes and stuff. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgardsormr and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us advantage over a foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. This would seem the road lead us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Magnanimous. Would it help if I said that I have a tiny Midgardsormr following me in my pocket? I mean, he keeps on hiding in cutscenes, but I tend to have him out at all other times. Or would you find that creepy and very heretical? You would probably find that creepy and very heretical. Did you just stab one of your own? Because it looked like you were stabbing one of your own. Oh, it's you guys. Okay. Building very pretty, is it not?
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken.
Oh. I don't think Ishgardians are even like that exposed to Lalafels, honestly. Tataru should be the first one that they see later on. Must have been really weird for them. It's mostly, this is like a medieval elf palace. Of just elf dealings with dragon stuff. It got isolated from the rest of Eorzea. Honestly, I don't think that Lalafels were prevalent in any expansion pack outside of mainland Realm Reborn. Like, you see a lot of other races in other places.
We raise our voices and join you in the chorus.
Sing!
Evil magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Set my world on fire! Sometimes when bad people are making big speeches, you just really want to join in. You're like, oh, all of this flamboyantness, it just looks so much fun. Okay, you have an etherite. That is very helpful. Thank you. Hop. Hop, hop, hop. I don't know what happened with this place's music, by the way. I remember really dreading Heavensward when I was leveling in here the first time because it just sounds like somebody has died on an instrument. I can make it louder. Oh! You mean the bar? Yeah, Final Fantasy has a lot of abilities. You get used to it because you get them really slowly. I actually have the issue right now. Music stopped so we can like lower the volume again. Where I am too used to actually being able to use all of the buttons that I can at level 70. So my group pointed out that I have really bad DPS in the raids at level 50. Because half of my abilities are not available at level 50, and in order to get my DPS up, I apparently have to do some very weird things. Like, your tank stance lowers your DPS dealt by 20%. But because the only of the two stances that you have at level 50 is the tank stance because of retarded game design, it is actually a DPS increase, because then you can use your special abilities, which deal more damage. Weird. And I had that to have explained to me on Discord, because I never even thought of trying that. That seems very counterintuitive. It seems I was the swifter magnanimous. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make an appearance. I have a feeling that you know teleportation magics too, Alpinode, for I used an aetherite, meaning I'm here instantly. Unless aetherite travel takes time, which I'm still confused about because nobody ever tells me these things in game. The murmurings about camp tell me of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what's afoot. Gates of Judgment. Gates of Judgment is the entrance point to the expansion. And something that Heavensward expansion did that other expansions do not do anymore is it actually locked all of the new classes and everything behind this. So like normally, if my group really required me to deal bigger DPS during raid times, they would be like, you know, Dark Knights deal fairly good DPS at this level, just go and pick up the Dark Knight. But it's like, it's beyond this gate. It's the next map over is where the Dark Knight lies. So I can't even do that. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection to shield our city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered... It would seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Science! We expect you at Camp Dragonhead. Expected you. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there have been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned that the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more back of this at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Oh, so he's back at being present then. That's nice. It's nice for you to retreat from a battle because you want to speak with me. I feel very honored. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Oshifant will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. Probably in their main meeting hall, no? Like, where we normally talk with them, like where Hoshifant sits. Probably that would be my guess. I mean, they could have a meeting with us in the toilet, but that... I don't think that that happens. Nor that toilets exist, which is actually really weird. Like, if you go to housing forums, people are making makeshift toilets themselves. And they sort of know how to make one out of like a Lalafell stool and a few cabinets, but I haven't done so yet. But like, there are no actual toilets in game. There are bathtubs though, so I have to assume that they shit in that. This reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend whose once homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence strokes the flames of courage within my heart. Oh! You mean where they magic the poop away? Oh, I've seen the whole Twitter go crazy over that. Where it's like, what do you mean they used to magic the poop away? I bet that it's more like they didn't like shit where they were standing. They probably would go somewhere more private, like a bush of some sorts, because if you're having a conversation and somebody just like poops in front of you, I don't think that there was a single time where that would have been appropriate. In any universe. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and will treat you with you in the intercessory. A room. He will treat with me in a room. Yeah. And it's this little weird back room. When the expansion started, and you wouldn't have this very nice big sign telling you where the next main scenario quests are. I love you sign. I love you. That is a great improvement. Thank you very much. But before you had this, you had to locate the new main scenario yourself. And the entrance to Heavensward was inside this little room over here. And I remember running all around and everybody in the map shouting, "Where is the new main scenario? Where do I go?" And people like stacking at the door to the foundation and not being able to get in. Yes, you should let me in. Fun times! Comes with being a veteran in the game. You remember all of the funny bits. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand you would prefer to postpone our appointment, audience. On the contrary, Master Alpinode. Oh, hello, Tori-chan. I'm fairly well. I mean, I got into a Facebook argument cookie and made a video about it. And I misplaced my UPS label and I feel like absolute moron, and I had to send out a message going, I misplaced it again. So that feels very stupid, but otherwise I'm good! Oh, you mean 1.0? Oh, 1.0 was... You know, it was bad, but I am very sad that I wasn't there. Because that is gaming history. Should have been recorded. And there are people on 1.0 servers, but they're without NPCs or anything. It's like, it's so bad that you wanna see what it was, but you no longer can. I think it is more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian! Whoop whoop! Ah, Dragoon. Every expansion always has like the key character that the Warrior of Light is in the trailers, and for Heavensward it was Dragoon, so it was like the height of Dragoonness. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragons. They are formidable warriors all. Yet even among such masters of lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. Dragoon! Oh, see! You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So you're the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood flares sang in anticipation of our meeting. Wait, your blood... what? No singing bloods, please. Yeah, it is. For Realm Reborn, they did a trailer and main warrior of light was a bard. Of all things. For Heavensward, it was a dragoon, which is a base class. For Stormblood is a samurai. Now, that's Stormblood's own class. And for Shadowbringers, it seems to be Dark Knight, which is Heavensward's class, so that's a bit odd. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captain after the assault on the gates. It would seem Lady Iceheart and the Dravanians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg? One of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in our nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Halgdrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy health plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of its strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within... Did you poop an eyeball? Secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons were another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Though the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable, you must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Ishgard is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have yet been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. This is a weakness the Drabanians are not like to leave untested. You don't. Hunting log has finished at level 50. Unfortunately. There are things that they never, like, bring forward. There are hunts, which is not the same as a hunting log. They're like big monsters that spawn all about the world. And if you take them down, you'll get seals. And I think I have showcased one of them. But that's not... it's not the same. It's unfortunate that they abandoned it, because it was a great XP game. So it would seem you have described your plight in an admirable detail, Lord Commander. Yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? Yeah, seals. It's like a currency. You can get some armor for it, or you can get like faster movement in zones, or... it's like you can buy some stuff. My best explanation. I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangements concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict concerns only Ishgard and Dravinia. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravenia. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Coerthas would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garlean's arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Coerthas. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordona? 7 hells. Hey, Satan! Ahem! Very well, we will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the Eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Oh. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you. And the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wherever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the Wyrm who roared was Nidhogg, yes. He means to hurl his horde against the Danifin's color and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the Wyrm has summoned his minions to war. That was a lot of speaking. It would help if the longer cutscenes were all voiced. It would greatly help. Before I die of bad throat. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us with an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to the outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards the foreign corporation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. A lot! I would... If I had to calculate the main campaign, just to level 70, and you have to do all of the story quests, there's probably like 200-300 hours of gameplay alone. Just the main story that you have to do. And all of it has a lot of talking. And some of it is really lame and boring, and this is like the good bits. We're coming up to the good bits. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Why can't you do this alone? There's a netherite. You have a phone on you? The link show? You have a phone on you. You have a phone on you. Why don't you just call Minfilia and go, this is what we're doing. End of that bit. Though honestly, I'm like calculating how much quests we have to Heavensward. Quite a lot. And at the start of this stream, we were at about 17. So every single quest that's just go and speak to Minfilia is like part of that countdown down. So it's very nice, even though it's pointless and I wish it wasn't there. Baloney, baloney. The door is voiced!
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Alphino is male. He has a twin sister that looks exactly like him, except she has a bow tie in her hair.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
We must do something about it then!
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war.
And maybe, just this once, we should.
But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go.
This will not be the first nor the last time.
The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end.
He's 16.
For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Yes, yes.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
There's a lot of nodding, standing around, and walking in these. They are scheming! Oh, I haven't actually noticed that. It's like they have a special counter, like 1, 2, 3. Not. Oh! Oh! I must be very important then. Look at my white hair. I should try changing it to black and see if they like me less. I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alpinode. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of your own security. Revenant's Stall is but a short flight from the snowfields of Coerthas. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief Slackborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. It's like... Which was that game? Half-Life! Half-Life has the complete mute protagonist. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? Okay. Tataru accompany me. Accompany me to war! You mean when you cannot get your hair any more blonde, so then you drink the bleach? We are rather close to Coerthas, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Magnanimous. I have 101 things to discuss with Slackborn. I don't remember, is Slackborn one of the Crystal Braves that I absolutely hate, or is he the decent dude that stands... Yeah, he's the decent dude that just stands across the road from us. I kinda like him. I don't want to talk with my pet, I want to talk with you. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Coerthas, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for the infirmary as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will stay the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at the siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do so as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant's Stall. Okay, this game goes above and beyond to show you every little detail and preparation that goes into a single fight. So, you know, instead of just going and fighting, you're stuck collecting bandages. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Oi! Down! War's coming! Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I am not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Oh no, cat's fine. I have a shorter cat up there right now. It's a female cat, so she fits better on the computer. I do have one cat that tends to overeat and vomit a lot, though. Ishgard sounds like she's in the right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk about. I need you to cast your mind back to the scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilfred was there with the Firth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since, have you? God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilfred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Olda. So now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like me like to believe our company's disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom and all. That and steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilfred is a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't that type. 5! And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled upon, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilfred. Any road, you got a war to wage, and so I'll let you move on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Magnanimous. I hope it's not you. I hope you're not the traitor. Because if anyone was gonna be the traitor, the guy that's pretending to help you could very well be it. It's 5 twice. Now, where are the other people that I can talk with? The war! We are going to war! To war! So Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to guard Ravenstall. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do. Well, nice that I inflicted that, you know, choice on what looked like to be a right child. So it might just be his height. It might just be because I'm so big. Any other people? I swear, there must be other people. I mean, I'm supposed to find 2 more. They must exist. Surely there's some people somewhere. 2 of them to be precise. Yeah, it's not those people in hats. Is it people just standing shortly through this door? Is it people standing on the 2nd floor? Because that would still count as the area. It's quite naughty of the game to draw an area like this that includes multiple floors. Ah, I know your tricks well, game. Well, I found one of them. One of the 2. Sell me blade to the Ishgardians? Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'll slay me fair share of coin was gone. I've worked for one of them knights before, you know, watched me like a bloody hawk, he did. So I put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Like, you mean when they, like, show tits and ass? I suppose it depends on the game. I've seen a lot of fighting games do that because, like, saucy outfits are all, like, what they're about. But normally it's not very necessary if the game is good. And if the game isn't good, then that's not gonna help very much. So it's just a bit lame. Where is the last dude? Like, I mean, look all the way from here. We can see the whole arena, yeah, and we can't see him. Doesn't look like they're on the wall. There is a wall over there, but I think it's out of the field. Revenants, our own, like, house. I mean, the inside of the building is not part of the area. So there's that. Where did they place him?
They place him.
I've seen a lot of very weird porn games yesterday. I was looking at the Twitch banned game list. And there was something like, you know, witch growth simulator or something. And it's essentially a porn spoof between Hermione and Snape. It's not very legal because obviously it's not licensed. And I was like, why does this exist? Just why? Must be a person that I'm missing somewhere. Are you behind hard to see pillars? I like those when they're a choice. Like, I like having glamours in game that might not even make sense. Don't like when that's the only choice that you have. God damn it, brain. Okay, this entrance is not part of the whole area. Why would you hide them this much? It's like the game is all like, you know what we should play? We should play hide and seek! And you're like, no, we shouldn't be playing hide and seek game. Should be killing dragons. Let me put my thing away. The Doman Watch, Seasoned Adventure. Anyone round this corner? No. Anything positioned at this door? No. Then where did they put them? Swear I've done multiple laps around this place and I can't find a single person. Google! Volunteer Dragonslayers. Final Fantasy XIV. Volunteer Dragonslayers NPCs were. That is an actual... Outside the entry to Mordona. Inside the Silver Forge. There is apparently 2 at 225. But one is upstairs and one isn't. What? Yeah. Oh! Hello! You can rent a family in Japan. Which is really sad. So if your own parents disowned you and you're having a wedding, you can rent out a pair of parents. Volunteer my services to the defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claimed the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. It was to escape such fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. The one thing that I should do is I should look what kind of YouTube comments say. Ah, okay. I've read them. Thank you, Tori Chama and Satan, for commenting. Hop, 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 hop. Hello, Tataru. There you are, Magnanimous. So, did you sway any hearts? Swayed a few. 1 or 2, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Sloughborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I say one reverend soul veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Yeah, you keep optimistic. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alpinode. Apparently, the Alliance leaders are convincing an Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they requested your presence as usual. Anyway, you best make your way to Ul'dah! This is... I don't actually remember just having that many parts to it. So that's really interesting. I swear I remember a lot less parts. Ah, phew. Okay, my UPS label, they're gonna generate me a new one tomorrow morning. Ah, that's nice. Chamber of Rule? That would make the most sense for a meeting place? Yeah, this was the right place. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with the negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I feel obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we? At least, that brings us down from having to talk to 3 different parties and 3 different quests to them being all here. Which is a lot more convenient.
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Ul'dah has not.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
No, we're not gonna give you ships, we gonna pray.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard. Not when our own homes are still under siege.
I'm actually wondering what would be... like, if the story was not based around the Scion, but like... you're just a guy working in Nimsa. And like, Merweave's personal army. Does her concerns include picking flowers? Or is that bullshit limited to only Scions?
Our interest in Cartano undefended as well. Teleji Adeleji and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
Oh right, you're fighting over a giant Ultima weapon.
And you would cower behind yours?
Somewhere in an area we can't access.
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Namely in prayers.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes.
I wonder how not comfortable it is to sit with the shield like that.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords?
Yes!
Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
I have a bit of jam on my pants and I can't find it anymore. I was just trying to pick it off with my nail while sitting here quietly and now I'm like... where did it go?
My duty is to my country and my people.
Mine!
To place the welfare of a foreign power above our own. You're going to be sorely disappointed.
To be fair, they are right. They're engaged in like multiple conflicts and they're trying to appeal to morality for extra soldiers for each of the conflicts, which just doesn't work.
Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Now sit down, my boy!
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
Limsaxit? Limsic.
I suggest you assemble a party of adventurers, assuming you haven't already.
No matter what I'm trying to pronounce, it just sounds like Lemsip.
I dare say they will do so again.
My lipstick is like so perfectly applied on my character. Whenever I put on lipstick, it like leaves uneven spots and different coloration on my lips. We cannot see that on like the camera whenever I do it, but I can see it in real life quite a lot. And mine is just like perfect with glyphs, lip gloss all over it.
It will dart to the brass blades for a time. We can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard.
Limsex!
Your Grace?
Aw, our Grace is sad.
Yes. Yes, of course. Do it.
Sad Grace is sad.
Is her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Well, try to put Limsa and exit into one word. No, he's like being fashionable. Look at me wearing only one of my gauntlets! Ooh! That would be like, look at me wearing only one of my pants. One of my pant in the pants. Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. Yes, but that's what I do. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Hoshaphan's and Sir Emmerich's to their fate. The way that I read it, that sounded like there was multiple of Lord Hoshaphant. There is only one. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. Captain Ilbert, what news? Then the assault is begun? We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join the House Durandare at the Steel Vigil. Well, not only are most races shorter than me, he is an elf's exception. Actually. He as an elf can match me in height. But he's like a child elf. He's like 16. So he's a short boy. I like to make jokes that he's 10 because he looks more like he's 10 than 16 if you compare it to full adult elves. But it might just be that elf maturity takes longer time. And I keep on calling them elves, they're a lezen, but they're essentially the same thing. You will join you as soon as possible. Would have you and your adventure allies bolster the defenses at Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Macaline at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you need it most. May the gods grant us victory. What Tekon, is that you? That is their link shell. Something that they can use to communicate over distances. But somebody should keep account how many times in main scenario, instead of going, let me call up one of the other scions, they go, I'ma travel great distances to report to them in person. Or more often than not, it's, you are gonna travel great distances to report to them in person. Aren't you excited? Hop, 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 hop. Hop, 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 hop. Hello. Hop, 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 hop. Wait. Okay, so this kid come here to defend Eorzea, and actually, he is not a child. He is most likely a grown, adult, pure man. Just looks like a child because of my height. That's a lot more clear. You are the appointed captain of the Southward Continent, and welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. Meow. Meow. Hey. I need to pat a cat. Don't run! No! Good boy. Good boy. He's purpering. No, they're like fully grown. It's just that I'm really big. Just like attention sometimes. The moment I'm gonna let him down, first of all, I have fluffs in my mouth. I meant fluff in my mouth. But the moment I'm gonna let him down, he's gonna proceed going no, because that is just what he does. Okay, let's actually use this chair properly. I say properly, but I'm sitting on my legs, and that's really not the proper way to sit, but that is what I tend to do. As we speak, Dravarian skirmishing parties are hiring positions across the Central Highlands. I have assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgardian proper. The Willy Serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. Pretty much! I may have some fluff in my mouth still. The Temple Knights will remain on these steps of faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face... There's still a hair there. Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Where's Whitebrim? Okay. That's a whole while away. Our skirmishers are miles away. In comparison. I don't think that we'll actually get into Heavensward today, but I do want to at least protect poor Corethus from the Dwagons. The Dwagons are coming! Ah! Are you gonna tell me that these... Hello, bots. That this army of people are gonna be traveling through this castle? Is that even like okay, or would they be like climbing over the chasm over here? The wagons! Yeah! Could you all get a bit closer? Please. Thank you. Oh yeah, they would have just traveled through there. I suppose they would actually have flown over the top. Okay, can you two just like walk to me? I don't want to walk all the way to you. That's a bit far away. They don't even want to auto-attack me, so my silly vengeance cannot do any damage to them. Damn dragons! Providence Point. Oh. Why are... What? You mean they're entering from multiple points and I'm the one that has to run around and find them? I think that's exactly what you mean. My cat is just sitting down next to that Christmas tree that I should totally take down, but I kinda don't wanna. So I was wrong about him continuing his upset. Except that instead of, you know, it being one big thing, you're just like running around collecting all the small things. Like, ah! A dragon! Dragon must die! Pew! Done! Dragon be dead now. There is a Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy crossover going on. So you can like earn a Calico can and everything. And I think I have it on my other character. But they essentially give you a single big thing to fight as a mission. You guys seem to be auto-attacking. Makes this quite useful. I should probably increase my DPS a bit. It's okay. It's pink. My skin shouldn't... Yeah, it can like... I kinda can see what you mean. My skin's more yellowish toned. Shirt's pinkish. I suppose he didn't get the memo. Or he's just like, fuck you, Horde, I'm not part of you. I'm just gonna mind my own business. Don't stand there showing off, actually come over here. Ooh. I don't know how to put filters in films. Is it so that it's less bright? You can inflict less damage. My lamp is very yellow. We always are meaning to replace it, but nobody goes out and gets light bulbs. That's like wishful thinking. One day that lamp will replace itself. Ooh, finally! I can hear one of my cats shitting in the bathtub. One of our cats is convinced that the bathtub's the toilet. And we don't have the heart to tell him that it's not, but it's kinda easy to clean. We don't mind that much either. Yeah. They will be like, here's your light bulb, my lady, and I will be like, oh, how did you know that that was exactly what I wanted? Well, you ordered it, didn't you? I did? Oh, if you didn't, then I'll have to take it away. Oh, I did! I did order it! Of course I did! Ah! Another live human! And another one! So many. What news, adventure? Are they in reinforcements? Decimated, you say? Dravarian devils, damn the scary hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in battle to come. I had fellows up there? I mean, there were a few people that were like, damn the dragons! But they didn't look very dead. Not only is it only Materia 4, which by now sells for nothing, but the purpley ones I've very rarely seen. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you're tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie steps of fate, great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the sea of clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Deafenant's Collar. Oh, ew! Oh, that would be so gross. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outmost layer, the tri-stamped witch Ishgard stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhinged upon the steps of fate. Should the Dravarians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to the parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. All now rests on us, adventurer. Lead your comrades out onto the steps of faith and prepare to meet the horde! May the furry guide your blades. Oh! Oh god. Oh, that would be... I would feel very sorry for anyone with that face. No, that wouldn't be a raid. Could be a trial, yes. There we go. I found it! It's not even about their toilet being full. It's just that one of our cats legitimately believes that it's okay to shit in the bathtub. It's because we never discouraged them from shitting in the bathtub. He used to shit at the door and we were like, no, bad cat, go to your toilet. He then would shit in the kitchen and we're like, oh no, do not shit and piss on the counter. And then he would piss in the bathtub and we would be like, just wash away with a shower, right? And now he shits in the bathtub. It's like, oh, you didn't get mad at me pissing in it? I'll try shitting in it. And I'm like, well, the toilet's like right there. I can just like move and flush it. So it isn't that bad, but it's fairly it is bad, just not that bad. And I actually found Quora posts of, why does my cat shit in the bathtub? And the answer was, chlorine kinda smells like cat piss, so any places that you use bleach on, they can't think that it's the toilet. Oh, I actually love the sound in here. The music is kinda nice. I fully expect for a lot of people to just quit. Because this is a fairly long trial, so whenever people land in it, they just quit. Is anybody maining the other cannon? You're a DPS, that's okay. There is somebody maining the other cannon. That's okay then. You want both two people on the cannons because the cannons are dealing like the most damage. The rest of the people need to focus on the big walking thing, which, by the way, when his feet touch the floor and make an impact, they often crush you a little bit. So it's between fighting his belly, and I don't know how I'm able to hit there, and fighting these little fuckers. And at this point, the cannon people should have enough time to leave their cannons and run away, or they can die. Either works. Yeah, I know, it's kind of high up, isn't it? Okay, we're not at the wall yet. They will be able to lock him down in here so that we can inflict a bit of extra damage. Afterwards, that tower, it's hard to see because I'm like at its butt. Yeah, that tower has a dragon killer. When somebody fires the dragon killer, there is a lot of damage that gets inflicted onto the dragon. Oh, we got stunned. The idea is to kill him before he reaches the end of the bridge. And there used to be a lot less cannons, a lot less walls and dragon killers, but the developers like took pity on regular people and made this duty a lot easier. Because it used to be like 20 minutes of him just walking in a straight line until he reaches the end. And if you didn't have enough DPS at the end of that, oh, you felt it. Do not just not let them rush the cannons. Do not let him walk past the dragon killer. I hope somebody will fire that. Every time when I would like run up there, I would either fire it the wrong time or, god damn it, ability register. Or there would be somebody else ready to fire it, so I didn't feel the absolute need. Quite a lot of like NPC Ishgardian archers in here as well. Oh, hello, Turtle. I should probably hold your aggro. Oh boy! Fruit stop. Yeah! My Ishgardian army, they're dying. They're landing on the bridge, presumably. Oh yes, I believe somebody fired the dragon killer because they just said, oh, the monster felt that by the fury. I do believe that we're missing a mechanic because you can also shoot chains at him to like make him stand still, but only people on the cannons can do so. Yeah, he just lands. We have another wall over there, another dragon killer over there, and some more cannons, but we're like approaching the end of this bridge. After that ward, there's just like a big wall in front of the main entrance, and there's like sandbags on it and stuff. It's very final. I think originally when they were making the series names, they just named it Final because they wanted it to be the most fantasyist of all fantasies. So they're like, yeah, this is our Final Fantasy. This will be of so much fantasy that nothing else could rival it. Oh, ouchie. Oh, everybody seems to have been at all the wrong spots. Yeah. It's the cat that I was hugging on stream previously. Oh yes, good. They actually fired the chains this time. Did anybody fire the dragon chains? I don't think so. I'm quite stunned right now, so that would be very... Yeah, you did. Okay. Thank you to whichever healer is providing me heals. Oh, that's nice to know. That must have been such a sad name to make. Like, oh, it's the final game, I guess. Oh, we might just have just enough time to see, yeah, what's beyond the final word. You just died, good. But as you could see, it was a gate, and if you get close enough, there is this like line of sandbags and the last line of NPCs, and if you reach us there, it's duty failed. Meow! Meow meow. And if you want to exit without just like leaving the duty, because normally you would kill him way earlier than this. You would kill him way earlier than this. Meaning our people just wasn't doing enough DPS. If you want to exit the duty by hand, you just run all the way to the gate, but a lot of people just enter Duty Finder and leave like that because normally the run is way too long. They're like, oh shit. The dragons, they're withdrawing! Victory is ours! Who was that white-haired guy? And why was he half naked? Yeah, who is he? I wanna know, because he's half naked in like a very cold environment. Props on you, guy, for coming in with so little clothing. One of Nidhogg's greatest champions slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. The frozen nipples. It's like, must show off my chest, but so cold. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will save my lance. Oh, Sate! Sate! Your lance does not need saving. Silly you. You're here to congratulate me. Magnanimous! The dragons are rooted! Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my crystal braves were not found wanting. Commander Levior, magnanimous, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Wow. Right the gentleman you are, Emery. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, and I might express my thanks with a proper courtesy. That for some reason sounds so lewd when you say it. Only you can save my lands. It's kinda like very lewd thing, but I was making cabbage rolls and my husband said, "I want my meat in your cabbage." And I just couldn't stop laughing for quite a while because I was like, what kind of pickup line is that? I too would offer my thanks, Magnanimous. Through your deeds we have achieved a victory of a singular importance. What the Dravenian horde this weekend and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that that day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Asians and the Empire. But step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory of won this day gives us greater hope for tomorrow. It is a hope that shall sustain us the days to come and bear us past the many evils we seek to hinder our progress. I'm a sucker for great puns, by the way. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Elbert back to Olda and reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Stall and share your tale with Menphilia in person. Considering the amount of quests we have left, I don't think I am gonna have a very long reprieve. But that is just me. Let's go and see what Menphilia wants. This is the boy. Jojo. My husband put some stuff on top of his computer because a lot of cat hair kept on falling into it. So he doesn't allow any cats to sit on it anymore. And I can see a cat trying. I'm keeping an eye on him. Oh, my video has suddenly gotten a lot of views and dislikes, so I wonder where it got shared. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow. Yeah, cats will always be trying. Magnanimous, welcome back! Alpinode sent word of the siege, and of course of the role you played in ending it. Your days never cease to amuse me, Magnanimous. Thank you. I have a cat on the wall now. Being a very bad boy. What a bad boy. Yeah. You there. You're a bad boy. Oh, but that's really cute. You must be weary, Magnanimous, and now may very well be our only chance to have a peaceful conversation? Antecedent! Can you like I need to get my cat off the wall. 1 second. Come here. Go. Got him off the wall. And it was a very loud getting off the wall. Good question, can she see Tataru? Yeah, cat kind of fell into my husband's objects. A messenger from Olda arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal! Curious indeed. An invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo ul Namamo invites the Science of the Nanamo ul Namo. Okay, so it's not her own name twice. Invites the Science of the Seventh Dawn to attend the feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah, in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. No, my husband isn't present to have her junk over here. He's just... He clashed with his speakers. I don't have 2 screens. I have only 1 screen. My husband has 2 screens. We have 3 monitors in total. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as a commander of the adventurous contingent, and Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All 3 refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? Ah, but mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present the fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had the time to mourn Moenbryda and I, for one, and I'm not in the mood to carouse, but I suppose we must put away our grief for the good for the realm. I'm using a thing called Restream Chat, and it's just like a little square on the side, and it's an overlay, so it overlays on top of my game so I can see the chat just fine. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the vicious hero were not present. Pray... Victorious hero! I'm not a vicious hero! Pray content yourself with the thought of such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to the bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Science? Of course, antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Sigh. She must really hate her job. Curious, I have never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Oh yes, antecedent, I will antecedent. How long are you gonna push Tataru around? Sigh! Oh, we have to lift Tataru's mood up, I suppose. We just have to. Tataru! Are you at your desk? Maybe. No. Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Tataru, I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think about it, she did seem a bit preoccupied. No! Don't make me search for Tataru around the Revenant's Hall. That seems like a waste of time. Which it probably is. Hi, Jojo. Cat that tried to climb the wall is now sitting on my computer. Which is where you belong? Where it's harder to dirty my computer than it is to dirty my husband's. He is a bit big though, so sometimes his like tail whooshes past me or this leg just sticks out. Oh, Magnanimous, it's you! I didn't mean to worry anyone, it's nothing really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. Ah, you always know what to say, Magnanimous. I'm glad we had this little chat. This was so pointless! Report back to Minfilia, alrighty then. Cheer up, Tataru. Tataru was happy that I said a word. Tataru cheered up. Let me just walk through 2 load screens to tell you that. I could have just called you. Could have honestly just called you. But no, I'm gonna not use the link pearl as well. I'm gonna use my feet. Are we gonna hold a small party for Tataru? Yes, Tataru, you have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, what with all the recent excitement, but Magnanimous made me realize that there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you certainly have earned a rest. But I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventures in the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Hordy Boulder and Coulternet have been prompted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I too should acquire the power to defend myself, and others more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. It's like, whoa, hey! That's the first time I've almost been knocked onto the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell with which I might help, Antecedent? Ah, not at present, thank you. Was there something you wanted to ask of me? Oh yes, pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol. Yeah, I like checked it and I was like, where did that come from? Did somebody like shared it somewhere? Because the views like jumped super up as well. And I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Here's a pet door, looks at Lalafell. It would be a potato door then, because Lalafells are called potatoes. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, Antecedent. I take my leave of you. I hope it's not me that's supposed to like go on guard duty because I have a lot more important things to do. Oh my! 2. The power to defend oneself? Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think of it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Mayhap she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Limsa Lominsa? Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hoary Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, I am sorry to say that I have yet been unable to do so. Now I realize that you are rather more than capable adventurer, and an escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents, but I have nobody else to turn to at the present. This is how I comment. Okay. Generous to a fault. I thank you, Magnanimous. Now it seems only fair that I explain the important task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around the Eorzea, taking etheric readings, that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escort. Hoary Boulder and Coltonet were to act as two such escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You're truly a pillar of yes, 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 yes. I do not understand this person. Oh, that would be quite interesting. We're right next to my old free company. Son, they nice. Why did you leave? Did something happen? No, I can join them. Okay, I have an escort to do with you? Ah, Magnanimous, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Yes! Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coltonet? Our misfortune has become a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. Need I remind you that that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, but our mission is the same. Separated by moms we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. It's such thoughts that bring you joy. You are welcome to think to them. To more practical concerns, Magnanimous, we would have you attend this scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Magnanimous, in spirit we shall be together every step of the way. In spirit. I'm not gonna be that far away from you. Oh, I can understand that. Which? Where? Oh, Camp Tranquil. Oh, I feel like I'm like so deep into this quest, but I'm doing so many meaningless stuff. At last, the science woman designs to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isomhar. Come, we are late enough as it is. I think I'm gonna end it here for today. Like, I'm gonna clean the dishes, clean the poop up, do dinner. I'm hoping to do this again this week. I don't think I'm gonna do some tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I got a few games to review, so I should get onto that at some point as well. But we are so close to the end of Realm Reborn quests. And yet here we are doing friggin' fetch quests. Or rather, protect the scholar quests. So that is interesting turn of events that I didn't foresee happening. Thank you for watching, Satan, and thank you everyone for coming, and see you the next time.